Welcome to Spooky Pookies.
Welcome. I'm so excited to hear and continue on from last time.
Do you know what we're doing?
No, I don't.
Okay, liar. I've been so nervous about this part. So originally I wasn't sure if I wanted to delve into like another kind of Appalachian folklore myth or legend.
Yeah.
And I ended up deciding that rather than do that and yap on like I did in the last episode about bobcats, we're going to delve into some people's real life experiences. Now, I was really cautious about this. I obviously didn't want to take anyone's actual story and just read it out and that be it.
Yeah.
So I have done a real search to ensure that things that I found have been posted on multiple sites by multiple people, making me think it's kind of been passed down the chain by a lot of people.
Yeah, it's like a common story.
Like a common story,
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
right?
Mhm.
And it's one of those things as well where it very much aligns with hundreds of other stories as well. So I'm going to whip out the old phone and I'm going to dive us straight into it. No yapping, unfortunately, Liana. Got some complaints. Okay, so for this one here, in Appalachia, we're going to go into a story called The Ghost Train. Okay?
Scary, spooky.
Scary, spooky ghost train.
Hmm.
Back to the 1800s.
Again,
Common
era.
thread about us.
Yeah. Always the 1800s.
Well, it's how I'm literally dressed. I look like I'm dressed that I'm churred butter for a living. This is some Amish shit. No offense
No
to anyone's
comment.
Amish, but they're not
No
watching
comment.
this. They don't believe the internet. So, it's the summer of 1891, okay? And there is a train, obviously, that is loaded up to go to Asheville. Now, at around 3 o'clock in the morning on this train, as it was approaching Statesville, or really the Boston Bridge, the train plummeted. The train fell. The train collapsed into a nearby creek.
That's horrific.
Okay. 22 passengers on this train were declared dead from drowning because the train has gone straight into the water.
Okay, and the water would be so cold as well.
What summer?
Yeah, but still.
A creek. Yeah, I see
Yeah.
your point. And in Appalachia too. Okay. The cause of what actually happened and what made the train veer off and plummet is still unknown, or at least at the time of this article. They have no idea why the train just literally fell.
I mean, it's the 1800s. Like,
Yeah, it's pretty
how, yeah.
Yeah,
How integral
safe.
is this structure? You
This
know?
is exactly like that guy that autopsy, that one we talked about last time.
Yeah. Didn't do a
That
good job.
same
Hardly working.
motherfucker built this train.
Yeah.
Okay, and so legend now begins. So train has plummeted. 22 people died of drowning in this creek. 50 years go by, and there is supposedly a woman who was waiting along the same road where that same bridge begins, where the people have passed away, okay? And it looks like she has stopped. I'm looking at my phone, guys, sorry. And it looks like she's stopped because her car is having troubles. And before leaving that location, she
Yeah.
heard a train whistling.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course you did.
And it is said that she watched the train appear in front of her and plummet into the creek. Full steam.
Wow. Okay.
Okay? And so that was 50 years before her time. So we're talking early 1900s.
Yeah.
Let's be really honest. How many people would have known that story? Because back in those days, news still was not that quick.
No.
Okay.
No.
You were not. That's why people were so much more oblivious to the world around them, because they didn't hear about it ever.
Yeah.
It was hard. And now it doesn't end there though. 70 years now go by. Okay. We're talking 70 years later,
Yeah,
20
it's
years
quite
after this
a long
first
time.
incident.
Yeah.
The story was still really prevalent, and a couple of ghost hunters were like, we're going to check this out. I want to see if this lady was really telling the truth. Okay.
Yeah.
So they go to the bridge and they start exploring. Lo and behold, 3 a.m. a train appears, going full steam ahead, plummets, I've ruined that, plummets into the creek in front of them.
So now it's two people.
So now you've got two people. Now,
Yeah.
the hunters, the ghost hunters said that they were on the real train tracks and they stayed on the tracks before they actually got hit by a real train. One of them died and 2 of them were severely injured.
So wait, this is not the ghost. This is a real train.
This is a real train now. So the first train they saw was a ghost train, and they watched this train.
Yeah.
And it veers straight off, plummets into the creek, and obviously they were so shocked they stayed there.
Yeah.
And then they stayed in the tracks for so long they didn't even notice another train was coming their way until it hit them.
Oh, that's horrific. That's so sad.
Mm-hmm. So that's the first legend in one of these areas. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now. We know it's a fact. We know a train did fall here.
Okay.
It's people's experiences. I'm inclined to believe them. I can't really imagine anyone would really, especially back in those days, like we're talking, 1891, 50 years later, like that's still early to mid 1900s. You don't make a mockery of yourself.
No, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
People will be like, girl,
you're lying.
Yeah, you're lying to me.
You're not going to get a husband. You're going to be a spinster. We're not going to give you hair dye for your greys. Good. Mm-mm. I hope I'm a wicked witch of the West. So now the story that I'm going into next, we've got a few to pass through. I heard this story. So I've heard this story before and it horrified me. I got to the point that when I was listening to like a similar version of this, because I have found another version of this, okay? So it's not just one person saying this.
No, yeah.
When I heard this story, when you're sitting at your desk and you think something's under your desk?
Yeah.
I was middle of work. Not that I listen to podcasts during my work.
We're hard workers.
Mm-hmm. I thought I felt or saw something under my desk. It was in my own mind, but I heard this. And you're going to realize why this was horrific. So, the Appalachian Mountain Trail is a trail that you can hike. We've discussed it before. Really long, very famous, huge. People go missing all the time. Now, in 2011, there was a man, it's not written who, decided to go for a hike. And he decides, I'm going to take a week off work and I'm going to head to the Appalachian Trails and I'm going to go for a nice hike. Because it's a beautiful location.
Yeah, it is. It looked gorgeous in the photos and stuff. Yeah.
You know, I've seen people just jumping off hiking tracks straight into the water.
Not for me.
No.
But I could see why.
No.
I could see why you would do it.
So, everything's going well. And I will note, when people go on hiking trails like this, they will pitch their tents up and sleep. Like, they'll sleep along the trail as they're going.
Yeah, okay. Because obviously it's such a large amount of, like, land. Yeah.
So, people that hike there, they're doing it properly.
Yeah.
Hello to my cat that's just joined. And they're taking all their gear. And so he goes in a couple days. Everything seems fine. He's having no trouble. The hike is lovely. He's really enjoying it. All is well until he gets deeper into the trail. And obviously, as time starts to pass, night's turning into day, day's turning into night, he decides that he's going to camp on this specific night, you know, as he has every other night. This night's different, okay? There's a weird energy in the air. And one night, this man advised that he heard some noises walking towards his tent and then walking around his tent. This man is in the middle of a trail. There is no one nearby. You're in the middle of a forest. That's it. And he can hear someone walking around his tent and he's wondering to himself, like, who is that? And he wakes up to this noise. He never bothered to go out and check.
Me neither.
He just went back to sleep.
As you do.
Just went, if it's serious, I'll find out, I assume.
Ignorance is bliss, isn't that right?
See, you're better than me. I'm going out.
Nah. If I don't know, if I can't see it, it's just ignore it.
I'm like a little curious George. I don't care what the consequences of my behaviour. I want to see.
That's impulsive behaviour, Jazz.
That's unstable behaviour. No. And so the following day he gets up and he's like, I'm going to continue with my hike now. It's daytime. Now I can check what's out in these woods. So he gets up and he goes to the camp where he had like sat around and made his fire. Okay. And suddenly he finds a man standing near the firewood. However, the man that he meets by his fire pit with the firewood is charred. His body, his face, his hands, he has been burnt. He is severely like charred.
Right. Okay.
Think of lava hitting your body.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. And this man was just severely burned, like almost blackened skin.
Yeah.
Okay. And this experience absolutely terrified him.
Yeah.
And all he could do was watch as this man with the charred body stared back at him before turning away and walking back off.
No.
I'm getting shivers.
I would
now,
run.
This man did something I'm very proud of, and he took off.
Yeah.
He was like, I'm not staying here much longer. I'm out.
I agree with this man.
And
Good
he runs
choice.
into a sheriff out on the main roads. Okay. And the sheriff advises him to leave the area quickly because there has been a house fire.
Holy crap.
Okay. And that the house had burnt down and there was a man there 4 days ago, a man and his family, and their entire house burnt down and they passed away.
Oh, God.
So
That's
I think
so
we know
sad.
who he met.
Yeah, we do.
And this is one of those ghost stories that, again, like if there is an original writer, I'll absolutely credit them.
Yeah.
But I found this on 4 different forums by different people each time. But the story is always
lined up.
And if that is true, I do find that hideously sad.
That is really sad, yeah.
That breaks my itty bitty heart a little bit because I can't imagine perishing that way and then also not being able
to fully let go.
To fully let go. But this is an active spirit. The fact that it was staring back at him had been circling his tent.
Yeah. It's still there. Like, it's still very much
But I'm not going to say that I
present.
would freak out. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I got to go.
No, I wouldn't.
I'm not
stand
good
around.
with visual stuff. It's the same reason I can't watch a lot of scary movies that are like gory.
Yeah. Okay.
I would much rather take on Casper than Slasher. Just my personal opinion, okay? And now we've got another one called The Cursed Village.
Oh, okay.
Dun, dun, dun. Once again, Appalachia. That's where we are. Now, I want everyone to make sure you're keeping in mind that Appalachia is big and the towns are considered sometimes a bit more rural. And these are not rural like Australian rural, where it's like bush. These are like wooded forests, creeks.
Yeah. It's like isolated.
Okay. And so it's said that there is a town and a village out in Appalachia called Dudley Town. I hated his character in Harry Potter.
It's like The Sims.
Yeah. Dudley Town.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love The Sims. Okay. So this sim town called Dudley Town. And this passes through several locations, Appalachia does.
Yeah.
And you come to this town. So you whoop, whoop, your way through. Now, Dudley Town has a nickname. A wicked nickname. And it's the Village of the Damned. Let me move in. Let me move in.
Yeah, we would
I'll bring
fit in.
Uno.
We would fit right in.
Village of the Damned. I'm owning up what I am.
Yeah. Citizens.
Citizens. I get
Permanent
immediate
ones.
citizenship. And the reason that this is called the Village of the Damned is it's believed the residents and the town had been cursed a very, very long time ago.
Okay. Hit me with it.
The village has a horrifying backstory. And I'm going through this with you at the same time. And it said that Dudley Town was founded, by the descendants of a man called Edmund Dudley. Okay. Now, this man was beheaded by one of the kings of England for treason. I doubt it. I'm pretty sure the king was one of the Henrys. Porkies. That man was lying.
Do you know what? I wouldn't put it past any of the Henrys to do that. Very notorious for beheading people just because.
I would happily tie my hair up, pull my socks on, and really just go at it with Henry in the afterlife. I would WWE SmackDown.
I would do a lot of
Which I know
things to
it's
that
a lot.
man. All very gruesome.
And I hope everyone that's passed on since that was his story and I know the story about the Kings beats him.
Yeah. I
hope
will
he has an
revenge for Anne
afterlife.
Boleyn.
Oh, I want revenge for Anne Boleyn and Catherine Howard.
Yes. Yeah.
I went to Six the Musical. It hurt my little heart. But this man was beheaded for treason by one of the kings.
Okay.
Okay. And it said that he cursed the town because of this.
Good on him. Fair dinkum.
And the descendants moved there, you know.
Yeah.
So he's cursed, the family's cursed, the descendants probably just moved to this town, okay? Now, the town was built now in the 18th century, so a while later, and it was abandoned by the 19th century, left as it is. Everyone fled. So it says.
Yeah.
Okay. The real story for people abandoning their homes and abandoning the town has never ever been confirmed. There are multiple theories, there are multiple stories that go around, never ever confirmed. They all just literally up, left, took off.
Yeah. I guess like back in those days, you wouldn't want to be plastered in that certain type of way. So it's kind of like, yep,
True.
we're going.
Except one story rings aloud the most is that it said the townspeople fled the town because people were being possessed by demons.
Yep, bye. No thought. See ya.
Apparently they've been possessed by demons and they either went absolutely mad, like bonkers, or they committed suicide due to these possessions.
Yeah, okay.
And to this day, you can apparently visit, I don't know, I don't live there, but people report seeing glowing orbs, things moving around the shadows and around the town.
Okay.
So I know I said at the start of this story, I'm happy to move there. I do change that opinion. I don't think a demon possession would do me any good, nor would I be very inspiring.
No, couldn't say that I would enjoy it there.
I'm not that fun.
No, not fond of it.
No, and I'm already ill mentally. I don't need a demon possession. Okay, so we're going in further. I've got a couple more stories, but this is... Now, I found a couple of trails on not just Reddit really, but I found them on like Facebook pages, Instagram groups, like everywhere. And a lot of it is like, we want to know, do people in Appalachia have stories? And there's a huge divide. It's either, yes, we have stories, tons of stories. There are definitely creatures in the woods and this, and that. And some people are like, no, you're on crack. I've lived here my whole life. There's nothing here. You like to make this stuff up. Okay?
Yeah.
I don't see you out in the woods at 3 a.m.
And if you are,
yeah,
get help.
You are.
Yeah.
They can't really win either way with that theory, can they? It's either you're not out there, so you know you believe in it, or you are out there and ill.
Yeah, it's bizarre.
Behaviour. Don't be a freak in the woods because, like I said, one of us is walking with all our limbs.
Yeah.
And it is me.
Exactly. I'm winning this one.
And so there's a story about a little ghost that haunts one of the lakes, Lake Lanier in North Georgia. And it's said that the reason he haunts this lake, and there have been sightings of a little boy at times, but they're very scattered, is because his parents apparently didn't want him. Okay.
Interesting.
And
okay.
Now again, this could just be an urban legend. It said they chained him to a bed and the valley was then flooded and they left him there to drown.
Oh, what the hell?
And the theory of Lake Lanier apparently is that, or the myth, the urban legend is that if you went into the water at night, he would pull you down and drown you.
I would be angry too.
Don't fucking drown me though.
Exactly. What did he do?
Why am I getting drowned? Hang on. Backtrack. We're on different pages for a second. You're telling me he's going to pull you down. You're going to go, oh, poor kid.
Well, yeah, he was drowned and neglected by his parents.
Yeah, but now you're drowning me. There comes a point where I'm like...
If I am anywhere near a body of water at that time of the night, God forbid, just take me.
Yeah, I hope it kills me.
Because I wouldn't be doing that, first of all.
It's like... I was hoping one day would bring this topic up. It's like, have anyone seen those fish on TikTok? I don't know how to say it. Arapaima. These fish look like they're smiling. The way their mouths and their eyes are, it's reflective. And if you look down into the water, it's like you've got a smiling clown.
No.
And I have nightmares about this. I'm not a water person. I'm actually terrified of large bodies of water.
So am I. Yeah.
If I look down,
because you can't see anything.
No. I hope I die. I hope I have a heart attack. I hope I hit the floor like a sack of potatoes and I'm out. I can't come back from a lot of things and I am scared of everything.
Yeah. She wasn't lying.
I have many fears.
Yeah. No. Poor kid though. That is pretty horrible. Like a terrible way to die knowing that no one cares about him.
It was coming to save you either.
Yeah.
And then now he spends the rest of his time drowning other people.
revenge. It's a
I
powerful
said at
thing.
the start I wasn't sure. Now I'm kind of like, I do get it a bit.
Yeah. Because that would be me. That would be you.
Like, I understand you're innocent, but this makes me feel better. It's a boring afterlife. But apparently, like, even people have said, like, Lake Lanier anyway is quite a dangerous place to swim.
Yeah. Well, I feel like, I don't know where this is. I'm just not really
North
good
Georgia.
with, like... Yeah, I don't know where Georgia is.
Either.
We need a map. But I know that, obviously,
won't
if
help.
it, like, borders, like, Florida and stuff, I know they have, like, gators and stuff. So, like, why wouldn't be anywhere near a creek or anything like that? That's just too risky. Just like us with Crocs. Like, I wouldn't be swimming in Darwin waters just because I'm too scared.
I always wonder, though, sometimes when it comes to, like, other countries and the dangers that they have in their natural wildlife. Because for me, that's the only thing that really comes to mind in America is, like, bears.
Yeah, and, like, gators. For
Now
me.
look at the camera and talk. I want a sip of my Coke. I'm very stressed.
Yeah.
Perfect. That's all I needed.
Parched, if I must.
I was overwhelmed. I felt it crawl up my throat. Okay. So, Western Maryland is where I take you now for the next story. Okay. Now, people will say here that the actual deers aren't really that dangerous, and you won't really come across them, but it's the ones that you can tell aren't deers that you should be frightened of. And I was like,
Sorry?
sorry, stranger. The fuck does that mean?
What is a deer that doesn't look like a deer?
Okay. Well, let me tell you.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to paraphrase this directly.
Okay.
They look a lot like deer at glance. Typically, though, you don't see a deer twitch, not like this. They look like they are there, but they also aren't, and there is no fear of people. The twitching that you will see is like they are popping in and out of being in that form so fast and getting the details wrong, such as having eyes on the wrong side of the head, standing upright, taking on a form that is clearly unnatural. I have heard advice that tells us not to take a second glance, though I have not heard any confirmed cases if it's not a deer becoming hostile once it's been spotted. These stories about them favour in these certain deers being extremely hostile and extremely dangerous towards human beings. It seems like anyone who has ever been hurt in one of these sightings hurt themselves, however, more trying to get away from them.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
Not a fan. I wouldn't be anywhere near it, that's for sure.
And the person who paraphrased this and wrote this signed off with this. Because dead men tell no tales. Oh, you're sick. You are sick.
Well, it's very true.
Oh, I hate anything melodramatic when it comes to that stuff. Just give it to me straight.
Yeah.
I like a nice bit of poetry. I like a nice little bit of a metaphor. We all know I'm one to make a metaphor every now and then. Dead men tell no tales after a story like that. You make me ill. But
Get help.
the fact that I could be in the woods, and it's the fact that I know I'm saying the fact a lot, but you see a deer and you're like, that's a deer. But it's the ones where you look at the deer and you go, that's not a deer. That does not look
like,
right.
what is that? Yeah.
And like it's trying to take the right form, but it just can't because that's not what it actually is. What are you?
Yeah. Okay. No, thank you.
I'm so stressed. My Coke Zero is bubbling up. I'm going to burp. Okay. I find that horrible.
Disturbing.
That's the one thing I don't want to meet the Appalachian Trails. If I go out there and I see,
no, I'm not a big like nature person. I must like in the terms
nice hike.
I don't mind it if I'm common with the area. Like I understand it and stuff, but I just don't like bugs and I don't like seeing animals that are unpredictable. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you go to a train station and someone's just tweaking.
Very unpredictable,
and
those
you're
ones.
like,
yeah.
This is dangerous for me.
That's
how I
dangerous.
associate it when it comes to actual, like obviously human beings aren't animals.
It's only
but when
dangerous
it
if you
comes
make
to
eye contact.
Actual When it comes, that's what it reminds me of though. It's the same fear that I get whenever, because one time I went on a hiking trail and I came face to face with 4 kangaroos.
No.
I thought I was going to die. I had a friend with me and I actually started thinking to myself, am I ethical enough not to kill you to save me?
Yeah. Well,
I would never.
people think that kangaroos are quite like cute and docile, but sometimes they can be quite aggressive. So you have to be like careful because they'll just come straight at you.
That's a good memo.
Yeah.
If you go to one of those nature parks, you usually find, because they're used to humans, don't ever, and I'm telling this not to the Australians here, do not ever go up to a kangaroo and reckon you're going to give them a pet or a hug.
Don't do it.
They punch you, it's lights out. And they won't just punch you once.
No.
You are a bowling ball.
You're getting king hit by an animal.
Wii game. You're getting king hit by an animal.
It's very true. I've seen it happen. Not in person.
Oh. I once saw a video when I worked in insurance. It wasn't one of my insurance things, but it was a video that got sent around with those funny videos. 2 kangaroos fought, knocked a metal fence down as they were fighting.
Yeah, they're like very aggressive animals when they can be.
That's what it reminds me of. Whenever I see like animals in the wild, I do compare it to that level of fear when you know someone is either on something or they've taken something or they're under the influence of something. I get the same rush of fear. Not with everyone.
No.
But you know what I'm talking about. It's this specific level of, oh, you're a little bit on edge.
Yeah.
I'm in danger here.
Yeah. Or I could potentially be in danger here. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But the next one. Now, this one here is something that I found. I actually messaged Liana about and I was like, I don't know if we can read this, right?
Yeah.
But I ended up finding this exact story once again, put on multiple forums under multiple different names. So if there is an original writer and this is in fact something that they created, happy to credit, but I don't even know if there would be now.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's been passed around, so.
It has been passed around. And the only accounts that I found are like super old as well.
Yeah.
But we're going to go into this, okay? I don't like to use the term skinwalker.
Yeah, okay. Mm-hmm.
To describe the hellspawn that wander the Appalachian Mountains. I say this because the only people that believe in skinwalkers are the ones who have actually seen them. I sure as hell didn't believe in any such a thing until about 2 weeks ago.
Oh, that's very recent. From when you wrote that.
The Appalachian Mountains have always been a place that I've wanted to visit. The pictures on Google were enough for me. This place is fucking beautiful. I had heard a few stories about skinwalkers roaming around the mountains during the night, which just made it all the more interesting. So I saved up some money, rented a cabin and flew out here to experience the mountain lifestyle for a couple of weeks. The first few days were completely normal, which again, side note, exactly like the first story. First couple times, the first week you're there is completely normal. Back to it. I'd gotten settled in and felt completely fine. Hiking some surrounding trails is all that I can recall for the first 3 or 4 days. It was on the 5th day that everything begins to shift.
Oh, okay.
The cabin that I had rented had 2 big floodlights facing the backyard, and every night a coyote would walk past my cabin, causing the lights to turn on.
Yeah, okay.
I thought nothing of it. It was honestly kind of cute.
Yeah.
Okay. On the 5th night of my stay, I was sitting in the living room watching some satellite TV. I think that's normal TV.
Yeah, probably. Like for the first digital.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And in the corner of my eye, I saw the floodlights flick on. Okay.
Thinking it's the coyote.
I jumped up to go see my new coyote friend through the window. Let's just say that whatever caused my floodlights to turn on that night was not a fucking coyote. Its body looked completely normal except for the legs. The legs were extremely long and skinny, probably 3 times longer than any normal coyote. The thing just stared at me.
I'm locking these doors.
My fight or flight didn't kick in because all I could do was stare back into its empty eyes. Am I boring you?
I'm tired, man. But
you yawned in the middle of the coyote story. Back to it.
No, that is terrifying though. I don't like anything making eye contact. Eye contact is a very dangerous.
Don't worry, honey. It gets worse.
Playing field.
Ugh, I hate that I called you honey. Pookie. This fucking creature then let out the loudest, most blood-curdling scream I've ever heard, and then got even closer to the window.
No.
I turned around to grab my phone so I could call the police. As I was walking...
Wait, sorry. What is the police going to do?
Don't ask me. I'm not... Do you know what? I would too, though. I'm a kind of idiot that's like, there's a demon in front of my home. I called the police once because I heard fireworks and I thought they were gunshots.
Yep.
And she's like, they're gunshots? And I went, no. I mean, yes, they're definitely gunshots. She's like, they're not fireworks? I'm like, no, there's no fireworks in the area. I did check the page for fireworks, go outside. Me and my neighbour had the same idea. We were both sneaking out in the dark. Almost kicked him. Yeah. It scared me. And yeah, there were fireworks. Anyway. I turned around to grab my phone so I could call the police. As I was walking to the couch, though, the floodlights turned off. The soft glow of the old TV screen was the only thing lighting the living room. I grabbed my phone and sprinted upstairs to my room. My first instinct was to hide in the closet, so I did just that. The closet doors had little slits in them, so I could kind of see what was going on outside. I picked up my phone and tried to call the police. There was one slight problem though. My phone was fucking dead.
This is why you always have your phone charged.
It was around this point that I heard knocking coming from my front door.
No one's coming in. No one's home.
The knocking continued for what felt like an hour. I literally had no idea what to do, so I just sat there hoping that it would stop. It eventually did stop, but shortly after I heard the front door open. No kicking the door in or anything. It just opened. I started to cry. I could hear faint footsteps getting louder and faster as it went up the stairs.
Oh, God. So sorry for hearing this.
It eventually got to my room where I thought I was dead for sure.
Yeah.
I could hear it opening drawers and messing with my bed sheets.
God, what is it looking for?
I peered through one of the slits in the door, but I couldn't really see anything.
Deep breaths.
That was until the creature put its disgusting, rotting face right up against the door.
Oh, nah.
It was breathing so loudly that it was hurting my ears. I pushed myself back into a corner and used one of my jackets to cover me. It was my last option. I don't know how long I sat there, but it felt like an eternity. I eventually peeked out from behind my jacket to see some light coming through the doors. I stood up and looked out. It was daytime. I couldn't hear the creature anymore. I assumed that it got spooked by the sunlight and left. I slowly opened my closet door. It was finally safe. Needless to say, I got the fuck out of there and I'm never going back. I don't want to see a therapist because they won't believe me. They'll think I'm insane. Maybe I am insane. I don't know. All I know is that whatever the locals of the Appalachian Mountains talk about these things, they are not lying to you.
Damn, that's fucking terrifying. Dude. Yeah, I was actually terrified there. Like, I was actually kind of scared.
I was reading it and I took a deep breath when it got to that part of this face. Now, I want to say, if there is an original writer, I would love to know if, as long as you're happy, I do notice that he mentioned at the end that he was really concerned that he was like mentally unwell. Yeah. So I will take a note that if that is the case, and this is a story from one person that was originally a true story, happy to credit and or take it down. But I have seen it on like 5 forums. Yeah. With a little tweak each time. But that seemed to be the closest I could get to like the original.
That is horrifying. Like terrifying.
I hate, even more than the face pushing itself into the door, so all you look up and see is a rotting face, the idea that I'm hiding in a closet and the front door opens. Because now you've got me. Like,
yeah, I think we're both like empaths where we can place ourselves in a situation and think about it. And like the whole time I was just like, how would I be feeling in that situation? Like there is nowhere to go because you've locked yourself in a position where you cannot leave. So if he found, like obviously he found him, so there was nowhere for him to go. So like that's terrifying, knowing that.
And the fact that it would have been watching him as he ran up the stairs. Yeah. So it's floodlights, the lights turn on, it's sitting there watching him. He's like, fuck this, runs up the stairs. this thing knows exactly what way you've gone now.
Yeah. And it seems
like it can see better in the dark than you can.
Yes. And it seems like he was like sniffing for his scent. Mm-hmm. With like the bed scuffing and stuff. It's like a dog.
You could hear it running up the stairs quicker.
Yeah.
Oh, I'd be sick.
I actually, I wouldn't know what to think about, like, if I was in that situation.
And
the crying, a vibe. I agree.
I
would start crying.
And I like to admit that I'm not a huge crier. Like, I know I make a lot of jokes about, like, I would leave you and I would leave someone else. I wouldn't. Like, my natural instinct, to be quite frank, is in these situations, I am more of a fight than a flight.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
As we've all seen if you've seen me in my real life.
Yeah.
But I actually do think when it comes to creatures or something that I haven't encountered before that I can't predict, I would probably do the same thing and freeze.
Yeah.
I too would probably hide. Yeah,
for sure. Because you're in a situation where you aren't like normally in. Mm-hmm. Like, especially he's like on a holiday, you know. And it's like, ugh.
Yeah, and I don't think anyone's normal reaction is like, oh, I'm going to open these closet doors, come face to face with a rotting animal that has managed to somehow open its, or whatever this creature was, open the front door, run up the stairs after me and look around for me. I'm going to fight it.
No, it wouldn't be.
I like my kidneys where they are.
Yeah, I agree. I do like them intact and in my body. Intact.
Yeah. But I do think realistically, and I know I stuttered there, I would just freeze. I think I would be so scared, my body would not let me move.
No, I agree. I'd just be stuck in that corner because you know in that you're
alone.
Safe in there. Yeah, 100%.
Because if I was with you, like if we were together, it's like you have that person. It's like when you go to like one of those stupid haunted houses and you're scared, but you're like, I've got to help this person because they're clearly more scared than I am.
Yeah.
You have that bit of there's someone else here. I've got more help. To be alone, to come face to face with something, and the fact the floodlights turned off while he was staring at this thing, he runs up the stairs and it just exactly
like knew exactly where he was going.
And opened the front door. I have heard many stories though. I couldn't really locate one for this, but it's just like word of mouth and just like little reads. I have heard a lot of stories about those kind of creatures opening doors without keys.
No, sorry.
Like they're walking around with a huge key pack.
Yeah. It's got a, what do you call it, those picks.
Yeah.
To unlock the
They're
doors.
actually little gnomes.
Yeah.
I'm really sorry to tell you what you came face to face with was a real life Australian gnome out in Appalachia. They're known for being little buggers. Just sing The Horses by Daryl Brathwaite and you'll be fine. They really, really love it. But that was a quick one. That's all I really had because, again, I was really trying to be careful not to find stories that were either directly from, like, because I didn't have enough time, unfortunately, to go and be like, can I read this story? Which normally I'm like the person that I'll check with you first. So I was like, okay, I'm going to try and find like word of mouth stories. I'm going to find stories with common deviations that are clearly not always tweaked, but are clearly by a lot of different people all at once. And I didn't want to go after anyone's actual real life experience they wrote down and be like, I'm going to read this word for word without having them confirm.
Permission. Yeah.
So these are all more urban legends and myths around the area, but things that real life experiences kind of confirm. Because I know for a fact a lot of people have put in posts, and you can go through Reddit and you can go through Facebook about their doors being unlocked or opened by a creature. That's
terrifying. They're evolving. They really are.
Fight me in the light. Don't fight me in the dark.
Nah, that's cooked. But I'm really glad you did tell that story because it was a really good one. Mm-hmm. Like, it really got me, I got scared. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to the point that I was like, I don't know if I can continue this. I'm imagining it as I'm reading. Like, I feel like my brain is so, like, colourful and vivid sometimes that's why I hate watching gory stuff because I can imagine it.
Yeah. See, I have a bit 50-50 sometimes. Well, most of the time, actually, I just don't really think about it too much. But sometimes when I'm listening to a story or something like that, I do put myself in that position just to, like, get in the... How
horrific was that for you?
It was pretty horrific.
And can we also say, I don't know if you guys, if you're watching, you would have seen it. If you're listening, you would have heard me say it. My cat came into the room and was kind of sniffing about. she started tapping in one of the rooms.
Yeah,
Did
while
you
we were
hear
telling
that?
the story, yeah.
Oh, so if you're wondering why, I didn't just breathe. I didn't want to say anything, but I didn't just go like, whew, and breathe out for fun. Oh, I thought it was coming for me. And then I saw her come out of the bedroom and I went, you wee devil.
Yeah, she's like, I'm going to make this an immersive experience.
An immersive experience for all of us. I can hear you talking about something you clearly hate. Let me tap on the door. Oh, and she does it too. She'll get you. My cat, I'm sorry, I'm detouring now towards the end. You can listen.
Yeah.
She hides in the dark rooms, and when she jumps with her legs and arms out, extended up at you.
She's a freaky little gal.
But before we go, time to plug our stuff. Give us a follow on YouTube or a subscribe, as they call it.
Yes.
I feel like 2012 Zoella. I feel like 2016 Winter Tutorials Zoella. Subscribe to our YouTube channel.
Yes, but you should subscribe to our YouTube channel. Follow our Instagram, our TikTok, our Spotify.
Speaking of TikTok, we just uploaded a video of Liana and I had to move this couch in here ourselves, if you like it. And Liana almost broke her ass.
Yeah, I literally died just about. I'm in pain. But also I wanted to say at the start, if you didn't watch part 1, part 2, today's one would make so much more sense. Yeah. So make sure you go back and kind of know the background about everything.
What we're talking about and why. But other than that, give us a follow on Instagram. We are definitely I'm personally more active on Instagram, but I will post funny little reels that make fun of Liana on TikTok.
Yes, and we will talk to you. So message us. Yes.
But I hope you've enjoyed this.
It was really good.
I might do more storytelling ones in the future. I found that to be horrific and I actually did really enjoy it.
I did enjoy that one, I have to admit.
Well, I will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.